Hey, GH peeps, what's happening? It's your girl, Twerry Babes, coming at you with the late night review for Friday. It's Friday, y'all, the last day of the work week. Last day of the work week, and we made it. It is March 1st, 2024. So, how was your day? I hope you had a good day. How was GHing for you? Any highs, any lows, any uh-ohs? We had a couple of them uh-ohs, didn't we, guys? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And I'm here to talk about it. But as always, if you like, please leave your highlights and your comments in the comment section. I really, really, truly do love the interaction that we have and that we share with each other. I just love hearing your thoughts about all things General Hospital. But anywho, let's talk about it, guys. Why are we wasting time? Let's just talk about it. So we're at the Quartermain Mansion, and it is Scout's birthday. And we got pink balloons, alpacas, and ponies, and just a whole bunch of kids running around having on sugar high, most likely. And Drew is trying to do, make this moment so beautiful for his daughter. And Carly reminds him, yeah, seeking revenge, focusing on revenge can ruin all this. And Drew's like, but I didn't even mention anything. And Carly's like, I hear you thinking. I hear you thinking it. And he was, because when Sam caught him in there and she was going to talk to him about Daddy, he's sitting there. So he was. But anywho, we got Sam, Jake, Danny, Scout. They arrived, and Alexis shows up, and she's bringing gifts. And we got Michael and Willow and Christina and Blaze blazing through. And Danny gets the googly eyes when she sees Blaze, and when she mentions his, remembers his voice, his name. He's really like. And then at the same time, we have Christina introducing Blaze as her girlfriend. And I'm like, okay, so we're out in the open with it now. I think it would be smart to let your business manager know, that you're out so she can get, ahead of that, because Blaze hasn't went out to public and she's a singer, so that's going to be interesting. But it's nice to see all the family getting together at the Q's, though. I did like that. I really did. And and Sam's face and Michael's face when she said, "Yes, guys, this is my girlfriend." Michael was like, "Okay," and Sam was like, "Oh, yeah," because nobody knew. They just thought they were friends. But anywho, while they're in there doing their introductions, Alexis and Drew are talking about the invader, and Nina, of course, being the head of it, and she's asking Drew for the cut dry reason why Nina was let go of a Crimson, and he tells her, he's like, well, she did this thing with the SEC, and he couldn't trust her no more. He just didn't have any faith in her running his magazine, and he tells Alexis to watch her back. And I'm still trying to figure out, how is Nina really going to come for Drew when Alexis loves her some Drew? If you watched Old School when Drew, when he was Billy, yeah, Alexis and Drew really bonded, and he's the father of her granddaughter Scout. So it's going to be interesting to see Nina trying to throw mud on Drew with Alexis working there. But anywho, meanwhile, we got after Alexis is done, we got Sam approaching Drew, and she's telling him about Danny's struggles, and she's like, I didn't know if I could come to you about this with everything that you were going through, but it seems like you're getting in a better place, and Danny's really struggling. Oh, Danny is really struggling too. And she's like, I know he trusts you, and it would be nice if you could, talk to him, spend a little time with him. And Drew's like, oh yeah, well, of course. And I'm like, Sam, this man can't even spend time with his own biological kid. His own biological kid. I'm just happy that Jason's coming back, because Drew is inefficient as a father. I can't see him being a great uncle. Sorry, I'm just gonna say it, guys. He can't be a daddy. He ain't been there for his daughter. Why would Sam think that he's gonna be there for Danny? And then I'm just, you know what? In this whole entire Sam pointing the finger at Jason for Danny's behaviors, and he's full Sam. This is all Sam, and I can, and them sitting there talking about, well, Jason, and Jason. They act like Jason was that way all his life, like he was born stone cold. Jason was not born stone cold. He was born college prep guy that was going to school to become a doctor. Okay? So if Danny was going to be picking up anything, he'd be picking up that. So I love Sam, but she needs to stop. Okay? She just needs to stop. But Danny is out of control. Because meanwhile, Danny boy is supposed to be looking at his jacket, and this dude is back there vaping. And of course his big bro see him. I think Jake's the big bro. Pretty sure Jake's the big bro. I think Jake's the big bro. Yeah. I think so. And he's like, Jake comes, he's like, you smell that, man? He's like, what? He said, I smell something sweet. And just so happened, Jake looks down to exactly where the vape pen was. And he's like, he's like, and Danny tries to act like it's not his. He's like, oh, okay, well, now just toss it. And he's like, no, man, what are you going to do that for? And he's like, oh, so you do? Oh, okay, well, you're not getting it back. I'm not going to snitch on you, but you're not getting it back. And Danny's like, yeah, I am. You're going to give me my vape pen. And Jake said, oh, so you're going to attack me for it? You're going to fight me over this vape pen? He said something to him about not getting popcorn lungs, but he ain't getting it back. And he needs to be in this house celebrating with his family. And I'm thinking to myself, why haven't they gotten these boys together a long time ago? Sam reaching for him to talk to people that ain't in his life. He need to be talking to his big brother. Anyway, then they start tugging at it. Because, Danny like, oh, I'm going to take it from you. And I'm like, ooh, we about to see some big bro, little bro rivalry. Okay, it's about time. Because you remember Michael and Morgan used to get into it all the time. Especially when Morgan got older and became Morgan. But anyway, not when they were young. I'm talking when they got older. But anyway, Danny and now Danny and Jake are tussling. And of course Willow sees them. And she's like, what is going on? And they're like, nothing. And Jake does not snitch on his brother. And he puts the vape pen in his pocket. Now we all know Elizabeth's going to see it. And she's going to freak out. Jake, what are you doing? Which, vaping at that age is pretty serious. And, mom should freak out. But we see where that's going. And all I can say is I'm happy that J-Dog is coming back so he can get a handle on his son, Danny. And he can remind Sam that I wasn't this way. You were. Because now we got the boy drinking and smoking. Who does that Sam like? Sam McCall. Not no Jason Morgan. Every time she says, oh, but he's like his dad. I'm like, no, Sam. And I'm really hoping and praying that the new writers fix that silliness, because we all know that ain't no Jason. That is you, girl. You better take some responsibility on your past, okay? But moving along, we're gonna go back in the house because now we got Michael telling Carly, and they're discussing about the updates with Sonny and Olivia Jerome and the current mob hits, and she tells him about John, and he says, yeah, that's why I'm having Dex come back. And I am so happy that Carly was like, are you crazy? Your dad just felt like you betrayed him the first time. Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to piss him off? I don't care if my dad hates me. I'm going to protect him with Dex. Dex is our mode of protection. And Carly's like, don't you care about Josh? If something happens to Dex, then she will never forgive you. Dex can handle himself. I'm like, okay, Michael, you real good at throwing the bowl to somebody else to handle the heat. I you know what? If I know they're probably not going to make Sonny dislike Michael for this, but I kind of hope they do. I kind of hope this ends up being the straw that broke the camel back, because stay out of his business, man. You never been involved in this business. Why are you doing all this now? It just behooves me. So we're going to move around because Michael just behooves me. I'm going to protect my dad. Anyway, Y'all let me know how y'all feel. I don't think Michael was right to have Dex come back. I don't think he was right to step over on Sonny's shoes. He don't know nothing about the business, but I'm sure they're going to write it so it looks like it's all like Michael's being the good son, even though he's not listening to his father. We're going to move over to Maxie's place, and we got Felicia and Maxie, and Felicia's over there to watch the kids, and she's like, "Where's Spinelli?" And she's, "Oh, he's gone. I kicked him out." I'm like, "Oh my God, Maxie." And Maxie tells her about how Spinelli was came in under a lie, and he's a fraud, and how he was playing with her heart. And Felicia's like, "Okay, wait a second." Well, she didn't say he was playing with his heart, but you know what I mean. But she was like, "Wait a second, it was actually me." Maxie knew that, but she wanted to see what her mom was going to say. And she said, "It was me. I was the one who put Spinelli up to it." And Maxie's like, "Mom, I would have really appreciated if you just would have let me handle my financial matters myself." And Felicia looked at her and was like, "Girl, you my daughter. What are you talking about? We weren't about to be doing all that. If you trying to tell me if your kid came to you and told you that they were having problems, you would turn a blind eye on them and not help them?" And I was like, agreed, agreed, agreed. I'm gonna tell you now. My kids might feel the same way, but I'm going to do what I can to help my kids. I'm not going to sit here and watch my kids suffer. Now, I'm going to make sure my kids can figure out how not to put themselves in this before I give them the grace of saving. They got to learn. But I'm not going to let them struggle. I'm not going to let them lose. Especially if they're trying to get back and they're doing everything they can to get back on their feet. So I felt Felicia on that. And Maxie felt her too. Because she said, "You know what, Mom? You're right. I would do the same thing for my kids. Who am I to say this to you? But I don't forgive Spinelli." Felicia's like, "What? What are you talking about?" And she's like, she tries to compare him to Peter and all the rest of them, and Felicia has to check her on that one. Then she tries to say something about she says, Spinelli was somebody she could trust, somebody that Maxie most likely felt that she could trust Spinelli, and he would always tell her the truth, and that he would always be 100 with her. And this was the one time he wasn't. And Maxie feels that like they just didn't meddle with her finances, but also meddled with her heart. Plus, their past failed relationships is an issue too. And Felicia tells Maxie that her and Spinelli always had a love for one another, and that both of their exes knew about it. And that Mac was annoyed by it because Mac still seen it. She said everybody sees it. Everybody sees y'all connection. Everybody. Maxie, you just need to see it. And I don't even think Maxie needs to see it. I think Maxie needs to trust it. Because Maxie is afraid of hurting Spinelli. Maxie's afraid of her and Spinelli falling apart and her losing him forever. Maxie's afraid of her children being devastated. Her daughter, particularly his daughter, if they don't, they try this one more time and they don't make it. And she really just wants things to be, but she loves him and he loves her. And I love them. And I can't wait for them to get back together and make it right. You know what I'm saying? And she does call him after Felicia leaves, because Felicia tells her that she's a survivor and that she needs to decide if it's worth the risk. I'm hoping Maxie decides that it's worth the risk. But she does call and leave a voice message on his phone. So it's looking good for for one of my favorite loves. I can't wait to see them together. And then we're going to round over to GH Hospital. And Dante arrives at the hospital, and Chase is there, and he tells him about Lee all beat up on the hospital court. And I'm like, okay, Miss Wu, what is going on? Your people can't beat up your people on. I mean, why was he beating him at the docks? That don't even make sense. You have a whole entire garden house that you could have unalived Mr. Lee at and buried him in with your bushes. Why is your man at the docks beating up on somebody? And then he get caught. Miss Wu just got issues in her team, period. Why she's sweating to Sonny about Ava? She need to be looking at her own henchmen, because they ain't to it. They ain't that. Damn sorry. And then Mr. Lee spilling the beans. Oh my gosh. But I'm catching up too fast. I'm going too fast. But yeah, so Chase feels and Dante are discussing, Lee, and they found the perp that beat him up, and he's in custody, and Dante and Chase go and question Lee and remind him that his boss wants him dead, and of course Lee spills the beans, and I'm like, see, if you would have left him in that garden hole, that garden shed, put them garden shears on him. I'm just saying, guys, I shouldn't say that, but I'm just saying, this I was like, and I know they had to do this so that Dante can tell Anna so they can follow and they can find out what Sonny's doing. I know the why, but come on, guys. So Miss Wu got two inept guards, and I call that guard that let him that got caught inept. Like, you ain't supposed to get caught. You ain't supposed to get caught and been used. Lee is just useless though, and he should have been. He should not have made it out the garden shed. If you get my drift. Why were they beating him up at the dock when they could have got him in the garden shed and just been done with it? Made some good fertilizer for the rose bushes. Yes, guys, I said it. I shouldn't have said it, but I did. So we're going to go ahead on over to Sonny's penthouse. And Ava lets Sonny know that her friendship with Nina doesn't mean she's taking sides. And she's staying out of it. And Sonny agrees that is a very good idea. And I'm like, what are they doing with these two? What are they doing with these two? So then Spinelli arrives, and he doesn't want to talk in front of Ava. He starts mentioning something about Dungeons and Dragons, and Sonny says, "Oh no, she's good. You can talk in front of her." And I'm saying to myself, Sonny, don't nobody trust Ava. Don't nobody trust Ava but Nina. And Ava my girl, but I don't trust Ava. I'm sorry, I just don't. Okay. And I don't blame Miss Wu for not trusting her either. Shit. But anyway, Spinelli tells him that all systems are a go. And Sonny tells Ava he's going to bring their enemies down to their knees. Sonny means business. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. The plan is they're going to hold a fake bridge building bridge building with Selena. Basically, they're gonna, hold a. We're becoming friends, and Sonny is counting on the gunman showing up and facing and Sonny is counting on the gunmen showing up, them capturing the gunman, and then making the gunman lead them to the person in charge. This is gonna. Ava wants to go and brings up her past mob connection with the Jerome family, and that she can be the arbitrator, and that would sell better. Especially since Sonny's circle has gotten to the size of a dot, and Ava's still in the middle of it. This plan could work. I mean, this plan could work. I wonder I'm sorry guys, the sneak peek show Dante saying, what the hell? So this, I mean, we will see. That's all I'm gonna say is we will see. I don't know, guys. I can say this ain't gonna work. It's so corny. It does sound a little corny, but we will see. Anyway, we're at Anna's office, and John's got his panties in a bunch. And he comes barging into Annie, screaming at her about, you gotta do something about Sonny. And you're gonna help. And I'm like, this dude is starting to get on my damn nerves already. He got a contract, guys. So we're gonna be stuck with him for a while. But he's getting on my nerves already, coming to huffing and puffing in Anna's office. And she checks his ass quickly. And reminds him who she is and where he is. And he apologizes. And they figure it out, and they decide that they're going to work together instead of working against each other. And Anna suggests that John has a personal issue with the old Sonny and not the man he is now. And she reminds him, yeah, I know he's no saint, but he ain't no devil either. And Anna says she wouldn't hesitate to arrest Sonny if she had evidence that he committed a crime. And John says that Sonny was using the okay, when he said, because they were talking about his donation to the hospital. This fool gonna say, well, that mob people used establishments like that to launder money. So now General Hospital is laundering money for Sonny Corinthos. John needs to go back. I almost wish Sonny would have got his way. He would have decked Sonny, and he would be shipped right back to the FBI center, because he ain't gonna help nobody with his narrow vision. And everybody keeps telling him, it's like they're telling Sonny to open up his eyes. John has a narrow vision, and he ain't seeing too far at all. And I don't believe he is going to be able to catch the man. Anna lets John know if he lets himself be blinded by prejudice, he will never be able to catch Sonny or get him caught up in anything. Agreed. The dude's walking around. I mean, yeah, Sonny went a little far with the Carrie situation, but he was doing it on purpose. He wanted Jagger to snap so Jagger would swing and Sonny could send his butt packing. I want John gone. He's just walking around angry, screaming at people. Then what he talking about when Chase and them come in, so we got some news on the case. My case, our case. I love Dante checking his ass on that. But anyway, well, we're going to talk about them right now. So Dante and Chess enter in and tell them the plan that Lee spilled the beans, and they leave, of course, to stop him, because Anna says we can't let him take the law into his own hands. And John, I knew you were going to do this if you'd be involved a minute. Boy, just go home. Just go back to wherever you came from. But anyway, I don't know, guys. I'm not a fan of John. I go back and forth, okay? Anywho, we're at the warehouse, and Selena is informed by her security that everything has been set, and mentions that Spinelli, Mr. Corinthos' associate, seems odd. And Miss Wu lets her guard know that Spinelli is unique, but very, very good at what he does. And then Frank, Sonny, and then Ava show up. And Miss Wu is not happy about Ava being there. And I can't blame Miss Wu. I cannot. Okay? But I don't know if Miss Wu trusts Sonny. Sonny and Ava both work with the cops. Anywho, Sonny tells Miss Wu that she can trust Ava. And Miss Wu's face, she looks at her guard and she's like, look, I congratulate you on your trust that you have established with your baby mama. I mean, that's not what she said, but that's what she said. But because you have an incentive to trust her, I don't. I'm with Miss Wu. And then Sonny says Ava acting. When Sonny stands up for Ava, did y'all see her face? Sonny stands up for Ava and says that her acting like a mediator makes it look legit. And Miss Wu is not willing to take chances with her life. Sonny says that we already targets. It doesn't matter. And he won't waver. It says this is what we're going to do. We're going to let our enemy come and get us. Guys, Spinelli's got the video. He's set up. He's got things going. We will see. I know that sneak peek showed Dante walking up to the scene and looking quite surprised. Luckily enough, we're not gonna lose anybody. I hope they do not hurt Miss Wu. I'd be very mad if something happened to Miss Wu. Miss Wu, the only woman in there that's a true gangster. I don't see Sonny as a gangster anymore. He's a soft gangster. You can't be a soft gangster, Sonny. You just can't. And, but we'll see, guys. We'll see what Monday's show has to offer us. But that's all I got for today. I don't really have much to say if this Sonny plan is going to work or not. But we shall see. But anywho, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. You have an amazing weekend, an amazing Monday, and I'll see you guys then. Mwah.